That's nice. I'll never suggest to anyone to smoke cigars. That's the vice I've consciously decided to partake in, but I will never suggest it to anyone. It is poison, but I've consciously decided to partake. I don't do a lot of things, but I do partake in cigars. Try to do it in a moderate way. Sometimes I gotta pull it back. But hey, it's my choice, right? Toasters, I want to remind you of something that I'm sure you already know. So I say remind you and not tell you. I want to remind you of something, and that is life is a contact sport. Meaning you will get hit, you will get touched. Figuratively speaking and metaphorically speaking and literally. And you will dish out some pain. You will dish out some contact. You will initiate some contact and pain. It goes both ways. But no one leaves this earth unscathed. No one. We all got to pay our dues. We all got to go through the process of becoming that gold, that golden human being. We got to go through that process. And if you know anything about the process that gold goes through before it's in medicine, yes, gold is in medicine, before it's inside your iPhone, before it's in your watch or necklace or crown, bracelet, I can go on and on. Gold is used for a lot of things, but before it gets to that point, it goes through a vigorous process, a trying process before you see that shiny product. It goes through a process. The three basic processes is, it has to be mined for. It's underground, underwater, open pit. You got to mine for it, though. That's not an easy process. Anything worth having is worth working for, right? So you got to even go through some stuff to know something's down there that's worth something. And then when you get to it, it doesn't look like what it's going to manifest into or what it could be. It doesn't even look like it because it has all this stuff around it, gravel, dirt, sand. It's dirty. But someone, the universe, God, saw what you are in present tense. Not what you're going to be, what you could be, but what you are. But you just had to catch up to real time. But in order for that to happen, you, gold, had to be separated. Had to be separated from the gravel, the sand, the dirt. Had to be separated. And that separation from those elements, from those people around you that were not necessarily bad or could have been bad, but they weren't a part of your process. They were not a part of your mission. So you had to separate yourself. You had to be separated through a natural process. And it was painful. You know what separates those elements around gold from itself? Cyanide. Now, I know you've heard of cyanide. Very, very powerful and deadly substance. Can kill you within seconds or over time. Very powerful. And we got to go through some painful stuff sometimes in order for us to fulfill our purpose and manifest into what we really are, so we can see ourselves and the people can see who we are, and we can be a blessing and a benefit and bring value to this world. We got to separate ourselves from people. That's a painful process, because that dirt, that gravel, that sand has been with you for a number of years sometimes. You get attached, and it looks like it becomes a part of you. It's stuck to you. But it has to go through this vigorous, this forceful process of separation, just like us, so we can truly show who we are. From there, it's molded into what is needed for the world. This piece is needed for this nugget is needed for this block of gold is needed over here. Every piece of gold plays a different part in this world. Every person, every golden person plays a different part in this world. But we all have value. We all have value. And we're all important. And at the end of the day, whether you think you play a bigger part than me or I play a bigger part than you, we're all gold. At the end of the day, we're all gold. You gotta always remember that when you're going through stuff, that you're gold. You have value. You're important. Because you're gonna have people that say the opposite. And the main person, the main voice is gonna tell you that is your own. And so you got to always remember who you are. Always remember why you're here, that you have a bigger purpose. Sometimes it's good to live in the moment, but man, don't lay in that moment of sorrow or despair. You got to get up and remember who you are. Just like the prodigal son remembered who he was. He said, I got to go back to my father's house. And that's what we got to do, man. We got to go back to our higher self. When we hit those low points, we got to remember who we are, go back to our higher self, our Father's house. No one said this life would be easy, but it's doable. And it's doable with joy. If you know why you're here, man, if you know why you're here, you stand on that, you'll take those blows with pride. You'll be joyful in taking on that vigorous process of separation, taking those hits, taking on that discomfort, because you know, man, this is molding me into something of value. This is gonna mold me into a piece of gold that's gonna give more back to the world than I would have if I still had this dirt and gravel and sand connected to me. Always remember who you are. Always remember that when you're going through stuff. And remember when these relationships disband or separate, just know there's a process, and this is part of the process. I'm not saying you're human. I'm not saying you won't go through regret, sadness, some despair. Some may even go through some depression. That's normal. But you can't live in it. You can't live in it. You gotta get up, fight. Like I said, remember who you are. Toasters, I want y'all to enjoy this weekend. Cowboys play in a few hours. I think we can win. So enjoy your weekend. Stay positive, stay joyful, give back, receive. Hey, as always, peace.